I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I coach people and organizations around the workplace, and that can be helping with a job search or hiring, managing, leading, being more effective in the workplace in general. Now, let me ask you a question. Do I look invisible to you? Because in some offices I've worked in the past, I was pretty invisible. Do I act invisible? No, I don't think so, but in some places I was disregarded. That ever happened to you? Now, I know sometimes my manager would kind of poo-poo this and talk from the standpoint, well, they didn't really mean to. No matter. There's a consequence to the behavior. There's an impact on me when I'm ignored. It's not like I'm being big and loud and aggressive. I'm just being a normal person in the office, and anything I say has no volume to it. It's as though I'm silent. I was never spoken to. And for those of you who aren't white older males, I know you're more at risk of the impact of that than I am, but I'm just using it as my own example of how intentions become irrelevant when dealing with impacts. For you as a manager, you have to be aware that that remark that gets a lot of guffaws, you know what a guffaw is, laughter amongst some of the team might have the unintended consequence of marginalizing, trivializing, dismissing another person. Do that enough times, and suddenly they might as well not be there. They're not a part of the in-group. Suddenly they're on the outside looking in, feeling hurt, wounded, adversely affected, and wanting to leave your team. You as a manager have a responsibility, and it's not that laughter can't exist. It should exist. Work can be fun, but not at other people's expenses. Not at the expense of adverse impact on people, any person within your organization, and you have to listen with an acute hearing to some of the things that are said and unsaid. There was an office I worked in some years ago where the owner made a bigoted remark about African Americans. I was present in the room at the time and saw the effect on his office manager and how stunned and hurt she was. After all those years of giving service, he insulted, a woman of color and others of color with his remark. And I spoke with her afterwards. I spoke with him afterwards about him being out of line. And with her, her attorney, because she went to an attorney very quickly at this point, asked me to testify, which is something I was prepared to do, but I wasn't called. I'll just say that, folks, you have no idea some of the things that you say and how hurtful they are and how dismissive you can be. I'm not going to go to the bigotry area. Sometimes that's a blind spot. Sometimes that's intentional. And that can be on the basis of age, race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, a whole host of different things. As a manager, you have a responsibility to clean it up and fast and have people make apologies for their blind spot, not with an eye toward shaming them, but with an eye toward cleaning up a relationship that exists with one of your subordinates and making them aware that there's a consequence to the action that they shouldn't have generated. I'm Jeff Altman. I hope you found this one helpful. Visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. There's much more there that you can watch, listen to, or read that'll help you find work more quickly. Also want to mention on my channel, you can also sign up for let me back up. On my website, you can sign up for a free discovery call where if you're interested in coaching, we can have a conversation and see if it makes sense for you. Lastly, if you're watching on YouTube, see that little icon in the lower right-hand corner? Click on that. You'll get notification whenever I release some new content. Have a great day and take care.